Welcome to another episode of How To with Paul Henderson. Today's episode is going to be on how to adjust a motorcycle's drive chain. It is on my personal bike. It is a Suzuki 2007 GSX-R 1000 street bike. So let's get to it. First things first, you need to put it up on a lift so you can spin the wheel freely. Now on to loosening the axle nut. Now you don't want to take it off all the way, you just want to loosen it enough just to be able to push the axle forward or backward, depending upon if you need to tighten or loosen the chain. So let's get to this part. So that's perfect right there. So I'm going to wheel the bike back inside because it's too hot out. So see you in a few. You may have noticed already that this is not a stock chain adjuster. This is an aftermarket chain adjuster. It is made by PSR. I paid about $200 for it. It works the exact same way as the standard chain adjuster that comes on your bike, and that consists of an axle block, an adjusting bolt, and a lockdown nut. And how these work, this is the stock one that actually came from the bike, is the adjusting bolt is screwed into the frame. You have your block here, and if you needed to tighten your chain, you would unscrew this bolt counterclockwise to bring the block back. If you needed to loosen the chain, you would screw it in clockwise to be able to push the block forward, and that would loosen the chain. And then of course when you're done adjusting it on this side, you would take the measurements and make sure the block is exactly the same distance from here to here, or from here to the back of the block on the other side, and then you would tighten it down by tightening down this lockdown nut all the way against the frame, and that's pretty much it on that. But with the PSR, it makes it much more simpler. So let's get to it. Okay, most tire chains need to be about 1.2 inches. So let's get this ready here. So how you tell if you're how loose your chain is, you're going to get a ruler, line it up with one of the pins. So I got it marked at the 1 inch mark in the center of the pin and go up. So this is about a 2-inch play. It needs to be at about a 1.2 inch. So definitely needs some adjustment there. So let's get to it. So with this type of chain adjuster, I've already loosened the rear axle bolt. So what I'm going to do, see, as you can see, the chain's going up. So let me go ahead and measure it. Okay, so, nope, way too tight. Okay, so it's at 1 inch, a little too tight, so I'll loosen it up. Perfect. So now what I need to do is find out what this is. So this is at almost at number 5. Can't see it on that side, damn it. Okay, so now it's at number 5 on there. Let me check the other side. Okay, let me recheck it again. Perfect. And now what you have to do is you have to check it throughout the whole chain, maybe about every 4 inches, because there might be a tight spot. And if there is a tight spot, you need to adjust it to be the 1.2 inches on the tight spot. If you, well, let's get to the measurement parts. Couple more times, couple more measurements should do it. The chain's a little bit stretched out, but it's not too bad. So the tightest spot I got to 1.2 inches. Some of the other spots are like 1.4. So that's not too bad, 1.5. So that should do it. So now all I got to do is just tighten the axle nut and then take measurements again. But that should be about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down, and then we'll take the measurements again. So give me a second. Okay, so like I said, you pull the chain down, find a pin, 1.2, a little bit over, that's it. Perfect. Alright, so I got that done. You know what I might go ahead and do is just take some WD-40 and just wipe it on the chain real quick, especially since I already have it done here. I mean, I already have it up, so might as well oil the chain, right? Actually, I take that back. My WD-40 is upstairs, so I'm going to just do some motor oil. Oh, and by the way, I had a friend tell me that he would start the engine and then do this and have the tire run. What a freaking idiot! You don't do that. It's stupid. Piece of cake, right? Not too bad at all. It did take me about 3 hours to film this though. I was filming outside, but it was already like up to 104, so I ended up bringing the bike inside because it was getting a little too hot. Anyway, so that's it. I'm just gonna check the measurements one more time, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm just gonna check it one more time. So 1 inch to about 1/4. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I got it about just under 1 1/4 inches. Yep. So now that you're all done adjusting your chain, you need to make sure that you tighten the axle nut to the specified torque that is in your service manual. You don't want to forget to do that. So let me do mine right now. That's it. It's all done. Here is a close-up shot of the PSR chain adjuster. As you can see, there are numbers on the bottom and on top. And then there's a groove here and a groove here. So what you're going to do is when you get done adjusting the chain, you're going to take this number here and apply it to the chain adjuster on the other side. So here's one more look at the chain. See, that's perfect there. See, it doesn't come off. Now the one way to tell if you over tightened it too much is spin the wheel. And if it spins freely like that, then it's you did it the right way. It's if you were to spin it and then it would stop, then that's not good. So that's now during the tightening process of your chain, what you need to do is you need to maintain the same adjustments on both sides. So as with my PSRs, I have a numbering system. So just say for instance you're going to start out at 4.2, right? So you got 4.2 on the drive side and 4.2 on the right side. And then you go to 5.0, 5.0, 5.1, 5.1, 5.2, 5.2. You need to maintain that as accurately as possible. And the reason for that is you don't want to adjust the drive side and then bring up the right side, because what that's going to do is just going to throw off the alignment that you just did. I mean, it's really no big deal. Then you're just going to have to back off on the drive side just to bring it even. But just if you just do them as evenly as possible, it just makes it that much easier. So remember, when you're adjusting your chain, you need to adjust it on the tightest spot, not the loosest spot. Now, a lot of people always want to get rid of that loose spot, which is nice, but you can't adjust it on that spot. It has to be on the tightest spot, because what's going to happen if you adjust it on the loose spot, when it rolls around to the tight spot, it's going to be extremely tight. It's going to put a lot of stress on that chain and on the pins that hold the chain together, and that's not a good idea. That can put a lot, so much stress that it could actually break the pin, and it's going to wear those pins out quicker. So if you follow your owner's manual to what you're supposed to have the chain adjusted at, and it is still extremely loose on the loose side, it might be time to go buy a new chain. And I think my life is worth it, and so is my bike. I don't want my bike to get screwed up because I decided to keep a chain on there that was on the verge of breaking. So I'd highly recommend getting a new chain if you have too much slack in it, because if you have too much slack, it could actually fly off the rear sprocket and maybe even the front sprocket, and that could do a lot of damage to your bike, and it might actually even take some meat off of your leg. I don't really know, but I did mention it on a previous video when I did how to lube a chain. That I had a buddy that happened to. He didn't get hurt, but his chain did break. Luckily, he wasn't going too fast, so he was really lucky on that part. But yeah, just do what your owner's manual says, and you'll be fine. Well, that wraps it up for another how-to video with Paul Henderson. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe, and you'll get notifications of any new videos that I have coming out. Let me give you a little weather update real quick. It is 113 degrees outside. That's why I'm drinking a beer right now. I think they set up to 114. It feels kind of humid out. I see some clouds, not too bad. But anyway, it's hot, so I'm sweating. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.